backgrounds. There's a southern connect, and Narasimha Rao, Swaminathan ji both come from South India. And the larger message, Anusha, has been that, like the two tallest leaders of the BJP, Mr.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. The Modi Sarkar has gone full throttle in recognizing those eminent personalities who have been shunned by the Congress regimes of the past. 3 new Bharat Ratna recipients were named today, among them 2 former Prime Ministers in P.V. Narasimha Rao and Chaudhry Charan Singh. Both of them are non-BJP Prime Ministers. Also a Bharat Ratna to the father of India's Green Revolution, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Now, the opposition is accusing the Modi government of pandering to vote bank politics. After all, this is just 2 months before the Lok Sabha election. The question is, with 5 Bharat Ratnas, remember there's L.K. Advani and Karpuri Thakur as well, just in the last 1 month alone, has the Modi Sarkar made these awards more egalitarian? Or, as the opposition says, is this naked political ambition that is at play? We'll get to all of that threadbare in just a moment, but first, the story of how the Modi Sarkar announced 3 more Bharat Ratnas today.
देखिए कोई कसर रहती है। आज मैं किस मुंह से इनकार करूं आपके सवाल के।
पीवी नरसिम्हा राव जी जिन्होंने आर्थिक सुधार सबसे ज़बरदस्त किए थे, और मुझे दुख है कि उनके साथ मनमोहन सिंह जी वित्त मंत्री थे। इन दोनों ने आर्थिक सुधार लाए जो बाद में 2004 से 14 तक लागू हुए, उसके खिलाफ श्वेत पत्र आ रहा। तो एक तरफ तो आप उस टीम को भारत रत्न दे रहे हैं और दूसरी तरफ उसी टीम की जो है आलोचना कर रहे हैं संसद में।
2024 का चुनाव नजदीक है और वोट बैंक की राजनीति के लिए जो जाति जनगणना का विरोध कर रही भारतीय जनता पार्टी वो कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी को भारत रत्न देती है। एडवाणी जी के साथ अच्छा व्यवहार न करने वाली भारतीय जनता पार्टी केवल वोट बैंक की राजनीति के लिए एडवाणी जी को भारत रत्न देती है। और आज किसानों के खिलाफ काला कानून लाने वाली भारतीय जनता पार्टी किसानों के मसीहा चौधरी चरण सिंह जी को भारत रत्न देती है केवल वोट बैंक की राजनीति।
But first, before we go to our guests, let's try and decode the impact of the Bharat Ratna announcement that's being conferred to these icons today. Let's start with Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. He's, of course, known as the father of the Green Revolution in India, the rice man of India. In the 1960s, when India was a food-deficient place, he started the Green Revolution. The impact is that there will be an outreach to the south. Remember, he's from Tamil Nadu. An icon of Tamil Nadu is being honored with the highest civilian award in this country. He was the architect of India's food security. Like I said, in the 1960s, India was a country that was food deficient. Today, we are a national surplus. The impact is also that the message has gone out to the farmers of the NDA being pro-Kisan. The second recipient was former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, the man who steered India through the course of liberalization. He ended the grip of the license Raj. In fact, it's one of the most defining moments in the history of India post-independence. The impact of that will be that there will be major political brand building as a result of that, both in Telangana and in Andhra Pradesh. He's from Nandyal in Telangana, which of course used to be in undivided Andhra Pradesh. This will have an impact in both the Telugu-speaking states. It also weaponizes the Congress's slights against P.V. Narasimha Rao. Remember, when he passed away, his dead body was not allowed to be kept in state in the Congress office. it also bolsters PV Narasimha Rao's economic contribution, which led to the 10 years of the UPA government. And the third recipient of the Bharat Ratna today is Chaudhry Charan Singh, former Prime Minister, farmer leader who stood for farmers' welfare and against the emergency. The impact is that in Uttar Pradesh, in the farming belt in western Uttar Pradesh, he is the tallest leader since independence, and this will have an impact. It will also help try and bring his grandson, Jayant Chaudhry Singh, onto the NDA. LK Advani, the architect of the Ram Mandir movement, the Ram Janmabhoomi movement, the impact is that the solidifying the NDA's momentum and the hardcore vote bank of the BJP that will be solidified after LK Advani's Bharat Ratna. Also Karpuri Thakur, freedom fighter, pioneer of Mandal politics, OBC reservations in Bihar. The impact is the message goes to key OBC vote bank across the Hindi heartland that they are honoring the most important OBC leader, Mandal leader in North India. It blunts the Congress's anti-OBC and caste census pitch against the Modi government. Let's now go across to our guests who are joining us. Anila Singh, spokesperson of the BJP. Mahima Singh is spokesperson of the Congress Party. Sumansi Raman is political analyst joining us. And also Smita Prakash, editor of ANI. Anila Singh ji, I'll start with you first. The criticism against the Modi government is at the fag end of the second term of the Modi government, you have announced 5 Bharat Ratnas to LK Advani, Karpuri Thakur, and today to PV Narasimha Rao, MS Swaminathan, and Chaudhry Charan Singh. It seems like you're just giving away these Bharat Ratnas, the highest civilian award in the country, only because you have elections coming up in a couple of months. This is timed to political/electoral benefits. That's why you're doing this.
My Rangam to all, and it really pains me. It pains me when somebody like all these 5 great personalities, they receive highest civilian award of our nation, and people say, and especially if I talk about the people from these political parties who are standing in opposition in front of NDA and certain organizations, they start ranting, oh, it is all because of the politics. Oh, it is all because of the politics. So let us go ahead. One nation, and we should do one nation, one election. Because around the year, every year, elections are there. So we should stop working. We should stop giving awards. What type of talk they are doing? Today is the day when all the farmer community, they are rejoicing this moment. Chaudhry Charan Singh ji is a Masiha of farmers. So if he has been awarded Bharat Ratna, what problem these people are having? Or they
No, Anila ji, the issue is not that he has been awarded the Bharat Ratna. The issue is he's been awarded the Bharat Ratna 2 months before a Lok Sabha election.
So what we should do? We should stop everything. And we should start thinking, oh, this year we are going to have central elections. Oh, this year we are going to have state elections. Oh, this year we are going to have council elections. So we should stop doing everything.
Okay.
Because everything will be connected with the politics or the elections.
Okay.
What problem these people have? This alliance is failed. That is why they are so paid. In today's date, perhaps RLD is also going to break its alliance from India. So Rahul Gandhi ji should do India Jodo Yatra instead of Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Okay. Mahima Singh ji, the point is not the timing. The point is the Congress party was in power for 60 years. You could have chosen to honor PV Narasimha Rao. You could have chosen to honor Dr. MS Swaminathan or Chaudhry Charan Singh. You did not do that. In fact, in the case of PV Narasimha Rao, you haven't even officially acknowledged his contributions to India's economy. His body, his dead body, was not allowed to be kept in state in the Congress office. That's how much the Congress leadership hated Mr. PV Narasimha Rao. So you can't begrudge that Mr. Modi has given him the Bharat Ratna.
Jai Hind. Political appropriation of the highest civilian award at its best is what we are seeing right now. You see politicization of constitutional agencies in this country, institutions in this country, and now it has come to the highest civilian award. And I think All of these, Bharat Ratna awards are as much welcome by us as our leader Sonia Gandhi ji has said today. But it is a matter of, pondering over whether these, great luminaries would have accepted these awards, this honor from a government which is so politically motivated, which is so corrupt, which is so, whose whole conduct is under the scanner today. Because you see, PV Narasimha Rao ji was just talking about the great leader, and when the BJP spokesperson was talking about him, I was quite astonished, because the very BJP that stabbed PV Narasimha Rao in the back in 1991, you got to revisit his old interviews. That very same PV Narasimha Rao they are talking about today. And when you talk about what Congress did for him, well, it is the Congress that made him an MLA at the age of 36. It is the Congress that made him a union minister for home, foreign and defense, and chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. This was all the doing of the Congress. He led as the leader of the Congress, and whatever internal grudges, if at all there were, that's, I don't think, any matter of concern for the BJP. Rather, an LK Advani, who has been stopped from coming to Pran Pratishtha of the Ram Mandir that actually he had sown the seeds of, is quite a
No, but Mahima Singh ji, I come back to that question.
Today.
What stopped you from honoring Mr. PV Narasimha Rao? Forget about giving him the Bharat Ratna. That's, of course, the highest civilian award in this country. You did not even allow his body to rest in state for public viewing in the Congress party headquarters. Why?
As far as I know, Zaka, your debate is today about Bharat Ratna, and
Yes.
let me just say that I have just now enlisted an array of accolades that Mr. Narasimha Rao enjoyed as a leader of the Congress. I am reminded of Pranab Mukherjee ji's Bharat Ratna that was conferred upon him, a BJP that always condemned UPA 2's alleged financial setbacks as alleged by them, although the truth has been told on the floor of the parliament today by Manish Tiwari and other Congress leaders.
Okay.
The same Pranab Mukherjee, who was the financial captain of UPA2, was given Bharat Ratna for what by the BJP for visiting Nagpur. So this, the stance of the BJP is quite skewed. It's quite politically motivated.
No.
It's political engineering at its
I
best.
think it would be really unfair to say that Pranab Mukherjee was given the Bharat Ratna just because he visited the RSS headquarters in
Wasn't the
Nagpur once.
BJP
I think his contribution to public life in India is far more than that. Anyway, be that as it may, I do want to ask Smita.
Just a moment.
Yeah, one second, please.
Just a moment, just a moment.
With
I
your
said-
permission, please, ma'am.
No, I said just a moment. No, because you said just now. I said that Pranab Mukherjee, as much as he would have deserved, but the BJP is the one that condemned his work
Okay.
and came to power condemning his work.
Fair enough, point taken. Let me ask Smita Prakash this. The fact that 2 months before a Lok Sabha election, this is being conferred, some are saying it's political expediency, clearly with political motives at heart. Forget about all of that. I don't want to get into that. What I'm curious to know, Smita, is will this, for example, help the BJP make further inroads in those states in southern India where it has not been a principal player? For example, in Mr. Narasimha Rao's case, will the BJP be able to make significant inroads in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh? In the case of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, will they be able to make significant inroads in Tamil Nadu? To say that by awarding the sons of the soil from those two states, the southern states, to expect that the BJP will be politically or electorally rewarded for that, that seems to be a little naive of the Indian voter, in my estimation.
Yeah, I agree with you, Zaka. I think it's a bit far-fetched to make that connection between Mr. Rao and M.S. Swaminathan and electoral politics, because Narasimha Rao has not been part of electoral politics for decades now. So, and none of his offsprings have played significant political roles, whether in his lifetime or after that also. And I don't think M.S. Swaminathan also has anything to do with elections or political parties as such in Tamil Nadu. Yes, there will be some people who will feel that somebody from our state has got recognition admission, and they will probably be grateful to the BJP government. But whether when they go to vote, they cast their vote because of that sense of gratitude or parochial pride, I sincerely doubt that. So, which is why I don't want to believe that all these awards were done completely political in nature. Maybe to some extent, yes, the Jat vote with Charan Singh. But as far as Narasimha Rao is concerned, the admiration that many in the BJP have for Narasimha Rao, it transcends political barriers. It transcends party politics. There are many in them. I can start with even Mr. Vajpayee, who had very close links with Narasimha Rao. Mr. Advani, on the other hand, was wary of Narasimha Rao. Whereas Mr. Modi and a whole other bunch of leaders had a lot of respect for Narasimha Rao. As far as you and I are concerned, we owe him a lot also as media personnel, because it was the economic reforms that were generated by Mr. Narasimha Rao and then Finance Minister Manmohan Singh. It's because of that liberalization that television opened up for us, news media opened up. Otherwise, we were stuck with just Doordarshan. And today, if we are speaking on satellite television channels, it's thanks to Mr. Narasimha Rao, who opened up and had liberalization. Of course, it was the need of the hour because of a certain process and economic, a juggernaut that we had at that time. That's why we had to go through that. But everybody knows how poorly the Congress treated Narasimha Rao. That again made him more acceptable to a certain section of the BJP. As far as the others are concerned, yeah, sure, go ahead.
No, sorry. I think what Smita is also trying to get at, Dr. Sumant Raman, is that the Congress party and the way in which it has treated non-Gandhi Nehru family members, stalwart leaders, and how it's been very begrudging in acknowledging the contributions of those leaders. Sardar Patel, for example, he was awarded the Bharat Ratna in 1991, a good 40 years after he died. It was conferred when a non-Gandhi was Prime Minister of India. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar was given the Bharat Ratna in 1990, again a good 30-35 years since his death. Similarly with Pranab Mukherjee, who was a lifelong Congress member, was awarded in 2019 by the Modi government. Now, P.V. Narasimha Rao now, even Lal Bahadur Shastri, his statue was unveiled in 2019 at the Varanasi airport. Many of his descendants are now with the BJP. The issue is that for the Congress party, at least its record, when it comes to non-Gandhi, non-Nehru family members who led the party and led governments of the Congress party, they have been very uncharitable towards their contribution to public life. That is the moot issue.
Zaka, 2 points. First point is, I read a guideline, a rule which said that there can be only 3 Bharat Ratnas awarded in 1 year. Is that still valid, or it's not relevant? Is something that I just want clarified. And this year we've now got 5. The second point that I want to make is, did the Congress treat non-Gandhi family members with the respect that they deserve? The answer is absolutely not. Third point is, are these today's decisions, at least as far as Chaudhry Charan Singh is concerned, it is almost certainly linked to the elections, because I don't have to say it. Jayant Chaudhary has said it. After what they have done today, how can I refuse an alliance? That is what he has quoted.
Yeah.
So clearly, there is a electoral and political motive. Yes, I agree. As far as Professor M.S. Swaminathan is concerned, there is nothing to be gained politically for the BJP in giving him a Bharat Ratna, which he truly deserves. There's no doubt about it.
No, Dr. Sumant, do you agree with Smita's point that, not like this is going to open the BJP's account in a big way, either in Andhra or Telangana because of Narasimha Rao, or in Tamil Nadu for that matter because of Dr. Swaminathan?
No, I agree with that. I don't think that it's going to make much of an impact, but certainly there will be some limited impact, howsoever small it may be, on the Jat vote in northern India and typically in western Uttar Pradesh, where the RLD has its base. So clearly there is a political motive in some of these. We saw earlier Mr. Karpuri Thakur, again with an eye on Bihar, with an eye on consolidating perhaps the Thakur vote in Bihar. So I think we have to understand that there is a political play here. This is not all of it being done out of pure altruistic motives to recognize the services done by these great men to the nation. If that had been the motive, then they could easily have spread it out over the last 10 years and given them the Bharat Ratnas, two or three a year, instead of giving 5 of them Bharat Ratnas, which I don't even know if it's a violation of the law.
Okay.
In the last
Smita wants to
3
make a
months
point.
before an election.
Yeah, Smita.
No, giving Karpuri Thakur, the thing is, the Bharat Ratna has got nothing to do with the Thakur vote. He belonged to the Nai community. It's not the Thakur community. It's not the Swarn Jati which you are presuming. I'm guessing it's not the Thakur vote. Though he had the name Thakur, he belongs to the
OBC vote.
Barber.
Sorry, the OBC vote. I'm sorry, I rephrased that. The OBC vote. Okay, I don't mean the Thakur as in the quote unquote.
I mean, at some level,
he was an OBC leader.
The Mandal politics, the Mandal vote
absolutely.
bank. But let me put that to Anila Singh. Anila Singh, at least forget about Dr. Swaminathan, forget about PV Narasimha Rao. At least in the case of Chaudhary Charan Singh, and we've been talking about this for the last week or so, that there are informal negotiations going on between RLD and BJP. Now, today, to announce Chaudhary Charan Singh Bharat Ratna, and look at the response from Jayant Chaudhary. Dil jeet liya. That's what he tweeted out. When he was asked a specific question, will you be part of the NDA? Will you join hands with the BJP? He said, how can I say no? So it's obvious कि इसके पीछे तो politics ही थी.
We must understand one thing, that Jayant Chaudhary ji is grandson of Chaudhary Charan Singh ji. So as a grandson, definitely he has got all the rights to say, मेरा दिल जीत लिया. तो इसमें बहुत कुछ political angle ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं है. But I am really enjoying this moment, seeing how these people are rattled. This India alliance, so-called India alliance. I cannot see any alliance in today's date. You go to any major political party which used to claim that they are part and parcel of this India alliance. Now they are planning to contest elections independently. The thing is, if NDA is getting stronger, whether RLD joins us, whether JDU joins us, or whether any other political joins us, so we are happy about it. We are here to do the politics. इनको किसी ने रोका था क्या? आप दे देते भारत रत्न. Did anyone stop you? But you have to give.
But you also have to answer, Anila ji, the point that both Smita and Sumant Raman made. कि जस्ट बिकॉज आपने भारत रत्न दे दिया, चाहे वो नरसिम्हा राव जी के लिए हो या चौधरी चरण सिंह के लिए हो, ऐसा नहीं कि उनके पूरे वोट बैंक आपके लिए वोट दे देंगे.
So this is what I am saying. Stop searching political angle in it. This is what we are saying. You are simply endorsing what Smita ji has said and what we are saying. Stop searching political angle into it. But the only thing is, this political party, a political party which is handcrafted by the Britishers, they were mighty happy giving 3 Bharat Ratnas to one particular family. अरे कहीं पे लिखा हुआ है कि कांग्रेस की कमान एक ही फैमिली के हाथ में होगी. Just now I was listening to Mr. Raman.
But Zaka,
he was talking about law and legality of Bharat Ratna.
No, is it
the thing
is it restricted to 3?
Yeah, 30 seconds to Anila ji, and then I'll come back to you, Dr. Raman.
Allow me, please. Allow me.
30 seconds.
One statement here. I just have to say one thing here, Zaka. I come from Western Uttar Pradesh. I come from the same community. All right. Today, you can't even imagine the type of wave of happiness Western Uttar Pradesh is feeling. Because he is the only Prime Minister who has come from Western Uttar Pradesh.
Correct.
These people cannot understand it. इनको समझ में ही नहीं आएगा. इनको जो EQ है ना, इनका zero हो चुका है.
Okay.
So,
Sumant, respond. Yeah.
No. Okay. I just want to ask Anila whether this issue of 3 Bharat Ratna being limited to 3 persons per year, I think it has been done once before. I think, if I remember right, it was 1999 where 4 people received the Bharat Ratna, and I think nobody raised the question at that point of time. But clearly there is a clause which says it shall not be given to more than 3 persons per year. So I just want Anila's opinion on whether that is a rule which can be given the go by as per government discretion, or that is not relevant here at all?
अनिल जी बताइए, मतलब आप तो सत्ता में तो 10 साल थे, फाइनली 2 महीने पहले, चुनाव के 2 महीने पहले आपने 5 भारत रत्न दे दिए.
बिल्कुल. Clauses are made to be amended. Who made these clauses?
But they have not been amended yet.
I can say under whose regime these clauses were made.
It's not been amended yet. It's not been amended yet.
Clauses बना दिए. So stop telling us that.
But madam, it's not been amended.
All the Bharat Ratna has to be given. The reality
It
is
has not been amended.
It's given to all these 5 great iconic personalities whom everybody appreciates. Everybody takes name of Mr. Narasimha Rao with respect because he was the one, as Smita just mentioned right now, who opened the gateway for open economy.
So let me go back to Mahima Singh. You know, the interesting thing, Mahima Singh, is that many of these people, PV Narasimha Rao was a Congress person. Chaudhary Charan Singh, his government was supported by the Congress. The other names that I have given, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Lokpriya Gopinath Bordoloi, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, Pranab Mukherjee, these were all Congress members, stalwart Congress leaders. But their contribution to public life in India was recognized by a non-Congress government. And therein lies the rub, that somehow for the Congress party, the only contributions in national life have been from the members of the Nehru-Gandhi family. And all of these Congress members that I have enlisted have been awarded, whether it's Bharat Ratna or other awards that they've got, in a non-Congress regime. That is the rub of the problem.
Before I give you the list of Bharat Ratnas that we have given as a party, let me just allow to, because I've been raising my hand for a while, let me just allow to make a point here about Chaudhary Charan Singh and, you know, the pride that the BJP spokesperson is talking about right now. Let them ask the farmers who are being thrashed on UP borders right now, UP West borders, who wanted to come and protest in front of the parliament, how are they feeling today? How would have Chaudhary Charan Singh felt looking at these farmers and those 700 farmers whose blood is on Modi government's hands? How would have Chaudhary Charan Singh felt seeing his son Chaudhary Ajit Singh being evicted of a house as a matter of political vendetta? You see, those are the points we need to remember today. And you talked about the list of Bharat Ratnas that Congress gave: C.V. Raman, M. Vishweshwaraya, S. Radhakrishnan, C. Rajagopalachari. You see, Lata Mangeshkar ji, Bismillah Khan ji were given by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Sachin Tendulkar, C.N.R. Rao by Dr. Manmohan Singh, by Narasimha Rao ji, Satyajit Ray and J.R.D. Tata were given, Bharat Ratna awards. That is how you give highest civilian awards, and not by seeing which community you want to appease, which alliance you want to form, and so you give. All the names that you just made, Zaka, are all right. But just look at the timing and appropriation that has been made as a matter of those civilian awards.
Okay.
We are all for it. We have welcomed it. We honor these personalities in various ways. I told you, a 36-year-old MLA, Mr. PV Narasimha Rao, was spotted in the field of politics by the Congress. And he became a chief minister and union minister so many times, and then a prime minister. What does the BJP talk about today? You know, having insulted their own leaders like L.K. Advani, Mr. Narendra Modi has not even accepted his greetings at various public functions. We have seen the videos, array of videos.
Let me ask Smita this: the fact that I mean, if you go back to the 90s, Mr. Advani and Mr. Rao were at the two ends of the political spectrum. Mr. Advani was leading the Ram Janmabhoomi agitation. And of course, it led to what it led to. And Mr. Rao was Prime Minister. And for all his, good things, the economic liberalization and, the foreign policy successes, the reset of India's strategic defenses and so on, this will always be a blot on his record that under his Prime Ministership on 6th of December 1992, the Babri Masjid was demolished. And these two gentlemen were at two ends of this political spectrum in the 1990s. And today, within the space of a week, 10 days, the Modi government has awarded both of them the Bharat Ratna.
Yes, it's very ironical if you see that they both get their Bharat Ratnas in the same year. The fact is that Mr. Advani was always very wary of Narasimha Rao. Mr. Narasimha Rao was close to Mr. Vajpayee, but not so much Mr. Advani. They had a respectful relationship, but there was an awkwardness always, because it was during Mr. Narasimha Rao's time that the Jain Hawala Diaries episode happened, and Mr. Advani went into political oblivion for several years. He took this oath that he will not get back to politics until his name is cleared, and he stepped aside. Mr. Madan Lal Khurana also stepped aside. It was a dark period for Mr. Advani politically, and that saw the rise of Mr. Vajpayee, who became then the leader as such, and then Mr. Vajpayee came to the forefront. Till then, it was Mr. Advani who was leading the BJP, and everybody presumed that if the Congress party ever loses power, it will be Mr. Advani who will be Prime Minister. But subsequently, after the Jain Hawala case, it was Mr. Vajpayee. And I think to a large extent, it is ironical today that while Mr. Advani is getting Bharat Ratna, so is Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao, of course, posthumously. But I must say this thing about Mr. Advani being insulted by Mr. Modi, that is not true. Mr. Modi and Mr. Advani have had a very close relationship, even during what happened after Godra, and subsequently it was Mr. Advani who stood by Mr. Modi, even though Mr. Vajpayee had used that Raj Dharma phrase. It was Mr. Advani who had supreme faith in Mr. Modi all the time, and I don't think Mr. Modi has ever forgotten that.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Let's see how this whole thing plays out, whether or not it will have any political relevance, whether it will reap political dividends, whether it is in southern India, whether it is within the farmers community. We'll have to wait and see. I want to thank all our guests. We'll see how this story plays out during the course of the election campaign, which of course is due to begin in the next few weeks. But as the BJP builds political momentum with these 5 Bharat Ratnas, I spoke with MS Swaminathan's daughter, Soumya Swaminathan, who of course is a scientist in her own right. She was the chief scientist of the World Health Organization for the last 5 years, from 2017 to 2022. And I asked her about the highest civilian honor of the country being conferred on her father in service of him revolutionizing Indian farming. And this is the conversation that I had with Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. So I want to move away from the political debate and talk to someone who is a family member of Dr. MS Swaminathan. He's, of course, the father of the Green Revolution. Dr. Soumya Swaminathan is now joining us. She's the former chief scientist of the World Health Organization and the daughter of Dr. MS Swaminathan. Thank you very much, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, for speaking with us. First things first, many congratulations. What was your first thoughts amongst you, your family members, when you got the news that your late father, Dr. MS Swaminathan, was being awarded the highest civilian honor in the country, the Bharat Ratna?
No, thank you very much, Zaka. Obviously, we are thrilled and we are honored and grateful that my father has received the Bharat Ratna. It is the nation's highest honor, and very few people receive it. You have to have done tremendous service to the country to even be considered for the Bharat Ratna. So it's a very unique honor. And so naturally, we are very, very proud and very happy.
So Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but the fact that it's taken so long to award your father the Bharat Ratna, I mean, for a man who was called the father of India's Green Revolution, for making India self-sufficient in food grains, why do you think that was? The fact that it took so long, it's been some time since he passed as well, posthumously to give him the Bharat Ratna, why do you reckon it took so long?
Well, I think that, it's a recognition, whether it's early or late, one can argue about that. But the fact is that, the Bharat Ratna is a recognition of his contributions. And it only comes once, and it is the highest honor. He has received almost every national and international honor and award in the past, and any number of honorary doctorates. And he was not one, he took these awards and recognitions quite lightly, because he recognized that in the long run, what matters is what you leave behind for future generations. And that's what he taught us also. I think those were the values he lived by. So certainly, he would be very, very happy, I'm sure, because he was a very proud Indian. And so to have received the Bharat Ratna, is something that every Indian would be joyous about. But I think in terms of rewards, real rewards, I think came from the fruits that he saw of the work that he had done, the change in people's lives, the institutions he built, and the people that he helped create.
I do want to ask you, there have been multiple occasions when your late father met with Prime Minister Modi, even when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat. I think the last occasion was perhaps the book release that happened a few years ago. Do you remember any anecdotes or incidents or stories that he has shared with you and the rest of the family about those meetings between Dr. Swaminathan and Prime Minister Modi?
So he has known Prime Minister Modi for a long time. I think from the time when Prime Minister was Chief Minister of Gujarat. And I remember he mentioned having visited Gujarat and having discussed with him at that time, Chief Minister Modi, about water, how to solve the problem, and perhaps from Israel, some of the technology that they use in their arid areas. And he always, had high regard for Prime Minister Modi. They had very good conversations, and a lot of his ideas were taken by the Prime Minister. But I remember when Prime Minister Modi released his book, I think that was probably the last time that they were together. After that, my father stopped traveling much to Delhi. That in fact, Prime Minister mentioned in his speech that my father may be one of the very few people who has worked with almost every Prime Minister of this country, from the beginning of his career till Prime Minister Modi now. So he has not only worked with every Prime Minister, but he's worked with every government. And so when you said, yes, politics, it's not the right time, yes, he never let politics come in the way of the good work that needed to be done.
And one final word, ma'am. I just want you to sort of articulate what is the legacy that your father leaves behind. Of course, he was, like I said, singularly responsible in many ways for India reaching a stage of self-sufficiency when it comes to food grains. But the state of Indian agriculture today, was he worried about it because productivity has come down? We've seen, more and more people moving away from agriculture. What were his thoughts on where Indian agriculture stands as of today?
So I think there were many things he was very proud of Indian agriculture having achieved, and the whole ICAR system and the agricultural research system that he helped develop. But he was also concerned, especially with climate change having massive impacts on yields, on productivity, as well as on soil health, and so on. I think he was concerned that, we should be doing much more to prepare for the future, and we cannot take for granted, what we got from the past. So we are seeing now that with more and more inputs, we're not getting the same increase in outputs. And so he always felt that science and technology keeps evolving, and therefore policies need to evolve, and that science should be informing policies, that technology should be used by humans, that humans should not be slave to technology, but that technology should be leveraged to actually solve the societal challenges. And for him, I think food and nutrition security came first in any country's security. And I think you've heard the quote, which has been often repeated, that he once said that the world belongs to the nation with grains and not guns. And so if a country does not have food security, then it's unlikely to have any other kind of national security. So I think till the end, he was always thinking about, how to, and he was very up to date. He read all the latest scientific journals, almost till the very end. And he was amazed at the kind of new opportunities that were coming, with gene editing technologies, with artificial intelligence. And he used to say that these all should be leveraged actually to solve the societal problems and challenges that we face today.
All right, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, thank you very much for joining us, and many congratulations once again to you and the rest of the family on this big award for your late father, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. All right, from domestic politics, let's now shift focus to what's happening across the border, where counting of votes is still underway in Pakistan when it comes to the crucial test for democracy in that country. As per reports, independent candidates backed by Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf have won about 49 out of the 139 National Assembly seats, for which results have been declared so far. Meanwhile, it's a close contest. Nawaz Sharif-led Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and Bilawal Bhutto Zardari's PPP, the People's Party, have each won 42 and 34 seats so far. However, even as the results are still being counted and there are still over 100 seats left to be counted, Nawaz Sharif's party, the PMLN, has said that the former three-time Prime Minister is all set to deliver a victory speech once the final results are announced. The PMLN has also said that the party is in contact with some independent candidates backed by former Prime Minister Imran Khan, Sharif, and three of his family members. That's his younger brother Shahbaz Sharif, who also used to be a former Prime Minister, his son Hamza Shahbaz, as well as Nawaz Sharif's daughter Maryam Nawaz, have already scored victories from Lahore and constituencies around Lahore. The voting, which was completed on the 8th of February yesterday, took place for a total of 265 seats in the Pakistan National Assembly. You need a simple majority to govern Pakistan for the next 5 years. But the big charge that is coming in its way is that given the kind of sympathy wave that we have seen for Imran Khan and Imran Khan-backed independent candidates, the Pakistan military is alleged to have rigged the elections in favor of Nawaz Sharif. But it's not like it's a runaway victory for the PMLN or for Nawaz Sharif. In fact, they are the second largest party. The candidates backed by the PTI still continue to be the single largest group in the new National Assembly. Now, the question is, was this the expected result? Because many were saying in the run-up to February 8 that this election result is predetermined, it's a fixed match, and that Nawaz Sharif is just a shoe-in away from becoming Prime Minister for a fourth term. That is not exactly how this script is played out up until now, at least. Let me go across to somebody who very closely tracks Pakistan's politics and also is a historian of Pakistan's army. Thank you very much, Aisha Siddique, for joining us, international affairs expert, joining us tonight on Brass Tacks. First things first, before the election, if you look at much of the coverage, both domestically in Pakistan, even international press coverage, it was almost like the result was a foregone conclusion. Nawaz Sharif was all set to become Prime Minister for a fourth term. He was suddenly the favored blue-eyed boy of the army. And clearly, given the recent history between Imran Khan and the army, it was clear that the army was doing everything in its power to try and, curtail Imran Khan and Imran-backed candidates and their chances in the elections. That is not how it's turned out, at least not up until now. What went wrong? What changed between election day and how the results are now panning out?
Well, the only thing which changed is the people of Pakistan. And I'm really proud of the people of Pakistan because they have showed more spine and more backbone in them to stand up and say that, we are not going to easily kind of take dictation from the military. I mean, there was a lot of pre-poll rigging. I mean, whatever you said in terms of the predictions were that, Nawaz will come, he'll make government. None of that analysis actually took on board the fact that what were the feeling on the streets. And people were uncomfortable. You see, there are a couple of things. The kind of voting that you see today. So military, by the way, did a lot it could in terms of pre-poll rigging. What it also has managed to do is a bit of post-poll management. So it's still believed that, independents, by the way, to update your results, independents have won 87, 204 or 205 election results of out of 65 have been announced, according to which 87 independents, mostly backed by PTI, have won 87 seats, followed by 60 seats with Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, then about another 45 with the Pakistan People's Party, then you have MQM Pakistan, another 8. So, but going back, I think what nobody looked at was how uncomfortable people were. A, with military dictating Pakistan's politics. B, with the way Nawaz Sharif took the election process and people of Pakistan so easily. He came, he was comfortable, he started his campaign just 20 days ago. And it was like he was taking it easy. And what people of Pakistan made political parties and definitely in Punjab realize that, look, our opinion matters. You can't, take a mandate simply from the military and then take our votes for granted. So,
Okay.
I think nobody, every one of us who was analyzing didn't think too much about how the people of Pakistan will react.
But what happens now? The PMLN, Nawaz Sharif's party, is already saying he's going to be delivering a victory speech. If these results hold, if these trends hold, then the PMLN may not even be the single largest party in the new National Assembly. The independents backed by the PTI would be. Are we going to see a repeat of what we saw earlier, a PML, PPP, plus some independents sort of a government? Because I don't know how the final numbers are going to shape up. I don't think without the support of some of the independents breaking away from the PTI and allegiances to the PTI, one will be able to form a new government.
Couple of options here. One is that PMLN tries to convince, and by the way, Asif Ali Zardari is also in Islamabad. So there is a lot of horse trading and real politicking which must be going on right now. So one combination is PPP and PMLN. The other combination is PPP on its own, along with MQM, along with some of the independents, whoever is ready to walk with him, to have a simple majority of about, I think, 113. From what I remember, Mia Nawaz Sharif had been telling the army that he will not become the prime minister unless he commands at least a simple majority. Yeah. And this is what he must be vying for at the moment. Now, on their own, constitutionally, the PTI members cannot form a government. They have to join a party or form a party, something to that effect, which is far more difficult. But so the combination is either PPP, PMLN, or PMLN with some independents, or MQM and others. So that combination, and a third is that a weaker coalition with perhaps Shahbaz Sharif in command. PMLN, on the other hand, is much safer in Punjab. And for PMLN, Punjab is important. So it is at the top in Punjab, followed by, I think it's got 120 in Punjab, 180 are independent. So it will try to form the government there. PPP will definitely want to protect, and it's very safe in Sindh, make the government there. Balochistan, PPP will try to make a government along with independents, take independence with them. PMLN will try to do that as well. I think let me make one last point. I think what is going to be more difficult, whoever makes the government, is that with so many independents sitting in the parliament, policy making will be a bit of a nightmare. They will be howling, they will be shouting, they will be protesting, and they will be questioning every single move that the government makes.
One final word. What happens to Imran Khan? We know that he's been sentenced to multiple terms. I think cumulatively in these 3 cases where he's been convicted, it adds up to more than 30 years in prison. But he's also now, through this election, put out a very, very firm statement that there is a large number of people in this country who are backing him. Is that statement something that the army can just choose to disregard?
I don't think it'll be easy now on for General Asim Munir to shove Imran Khan in jail. In fact, one of the reasons that Imran's party or independents backed by Imran got so many votes is because the army went for an overdrive against Imran. I mean, 3 sentences back to back, including questioning his marriage and sentencing him to 10 years, 14 years, 7 years. People really got upset and angry with that. So that overdrive hasn't worked. And what Asim Munir needs to think is that, is it where he would like to keep Imran Khan and not negotiate with him, start some kind of negotiations? At some point in time, they will also have to, I mean, the cases are not going to disappear.
Yeah.
They will be challenged. I mean, they'll be appealed in the High Court now. But I think they will have to start talking. Number one, that's the thing which army will need to do. The other thing is that I think it does put a big question mark on the future of General Asim Munir, and especially if he's thinking in terms of an extension. This voting pattern is also going to disturb his own army. His army, many of them were supporting Imran Khan. It's going to give that feeling. I mean, there are not going to be cases of indiscipline, but definitely they will be watching and looking at this result as something which comes from their own heart. So, really, if I were General Asim Munir, I'd really think deep and hard. I don't see, as of today, I don't see Imran Khan entirely as a thing of the past.
All right, Aisha Siddique, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining us with your thoughts and your perspective into what's been going on in Pakistan. There are large sections, traditional customs in the northeast, in Kerala. There is matrilineal line of succession. Even property division sometimes happens through the mother's side, not necessarily the father's side. How are you going to account for all of that in a uniform civil code? आपका जो objection है प्रक्रिया से है, लेकिन principle से नहीं है.
In Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Odisha, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, these 5 states where you don't have a strong organization, how are you going to make up those numbers is the question, sir.
We are a party who knows where we are strong and where we are weak. We are identifying very good faces who will contest, who are local faces who will do wonders in the election.
The argument we are hearing repeatedly today that North states, because BJP rules in North states, are being benefited at the expense of South state because BJP is not in power in South. BJP was in power in Karnataka till 6 months ago.
The Prime Minister is right when he says that the opposition is busy shooting itself in the foot. The metaphoric pistol is pulled out and the Congress, while running the race, suddenly decides to shoot Mamata Banerjee in the leg. Then she whips out her little pistol and shoots Rahul Gandhi in his back by saying that what's he doing in my state? Why is he here?
Employment opportunities for the youth.
News is meaningless till you unlock its core. At the core is the crux.
I think this is the reason behind it. It's most important.
Watch Crux of the Matter to stay informed with me, Rahul Shivshankar.
Presented by Advani were conferred the Bharat Ratna in their lifetime. We also saw other leaders of the likes of senior Congress leaders like Pranab Mukherjee, Madan Mohan Malviya also being awarded the Bharat Ratna. Karpuri Thakur, the socialist icon, was also earlier awarded the Bharat Ratna. So in a way, the Bharat Ratna and the Padma Awards, the government has not gone by politics. UPA government did not award any Bharat Ratna or any Padma Awards majorly to the BJP leaders, in fact. But the BJP government making a point that it has given Bharat Ratna and Padma Awards across the political spectrum.
Aman, this aligns with the kind of narrative that we have seen coming in from the BJP, even when it was not in power. That whether it's the Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri awards, or whether it's the Bharat Ratna award, there has been a hegemony of a certain class, and various other icons who work for national integration have not been recognized. And that work right now is being done by the BJP. That is what they have argued. This, as much as it holds political relevance, it also holds relevance in the manner in which history is being understood, interpreted and told to the people of the nation.
Well, absolutely, Anusha. See, if you see the Bharat Ratna list, Mr. L.K. Advani, Mr. Vajpayee, Mr. Karpuri Thakur, Pranab Mukherjee, this is also the same government which has given a Padma Vibhushan to Mulayam Singh Yadav, to
Yes.
Sharad Pawar, to Kalyan Singh, to Murli Manoj Joshi, Tarun Gogoi, the former Chief Minister of Assam. The government even gave a Padma Bhushan to Les Buddhadev Bhattacharya, though Buddhadev Bhattacharya refused to accept it. But this has been one of the hallmarks of the Modi government, that since 2015, it has blurred the political lines when it comes to conferring the country's top civilian honors, to those who have excelled in the category of public service. Merit has overtaken petty politics, and it shows that the Modi government is not shy to acknowledge its adversaries, going into areas where the Congress chose not to tread. This reflects in the choices of politicians, from parties like Samajwadi Party, NCP, the left. The award has gone to somebody who's well deserving of it, who has contribution to India's polity and India's larger social ethos, and not just going by petty politics that only BJP leaders will be awarded by the BJP government.
Once again, going back to the narrative, and what does the choice really signify? I mean, can you give us a peep into the history? Dr. Narasimha Rao Garu and the manner in which his legacy has been ignored is something that various historians, commentators have also said. Of course, BJP has always spoken about this particular issue. But what are the troublesome aspects of history which have been ignored or not been spoken too often?
Well, the most biggest charge from the BJP regarding the legacy of Narasimha Rao has been that, after he passed away, the way of conduct of the Congress party, not giving him his due, Mr. Narasimha Rao not getting a samadhi in Delhi,